Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Shyionniee and this is my channel Life with Shyionniee, where I talk about everything faith and lifestyle. Today with me I have a very special guest, my awesome husband, the absolute love of my life, Robert. And say hi to the vlog.
Hi everyone.
And today we want to talk about something very interesting with you. Why you should wait until you're married to have sex. If you want to hear more about that, keep watching. Okay guys, so why you should wait until you are married to have sex? Why are we even having this conversation is what many persons would say, especially millennials and Gen Zers, because why? Everybody's having sex, marriages don't last, and why should you wait until you're married to have sex? But I want to let you know that there are a couple of us who still believe in doing things God's way. If you are someone who wants to be outside doing the things them and you think that you're fine with having sex before marriage and everything, then this video is not for you, and that is fine. Who we want to talk to today are the persons who you know that this is the path that you want to take, and or you are already engaging in sexual relations and you want to kind of pull away from that, or you just would really like to know why would it make sense to wait? Because I know the world has kind of shaped us into thinking like, what makes sense to wait? Like, that's the thing.
TVs, movies, it's all
everything, it's so sexually
so
charged.
Casual, like,
TV 14 movies most times carry some form of sex. High school movies carry some form of sex. And I know that the world has made it out to be, oh, you're exploring and you're learning and
trying new things.
This is your body and stuff. And as I am saying, if that is your viewpoint, this is just not your video. But I want to talk to the persons who believe that, as the scripture says,
you could change the point of view.
and you could. But if you're someone who that is the path that you believe is for you and that's the path that you want to take, then I understand that. But for the persons who know and want to do the scripture that says, present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Lord, because it is your reasonable service, that is what I want to talk. That is what we want to talk to you about in this video today. So
also, for anyone who's struggling to want to do that eventually,
right?
Anyone who's interested in learning and stuff like that, yeah.
Okay. We also want to say, whatever we say in this video, we have no intentions to condemn anyone, we have no intentions to judge anyone, we have no intentions to put down anyone. All we want to do is share something that I believe that God wants you to hear today, and share that. I've invited Robert, as I said, because I want to give it from a female perspective, and I also want to hear from a male perspective so that it can be a balanced viewpoint. Okay, so the first point why I believe that you should wait until you are married to have sex is because when you wait to have sex, you get to find out the character of the person before you have a connection sexually. Many times in relationships in the world and stuff, we just, it's like, especially I didn't grow up in America. Robert didn't grow up in America either. So from our background in Jamaica, so back to America, you know about the whole one night stand thing. And in Jamaica, even worse. We talk, we do it, and we're there. We do it and we're now together. And a lot of times, even children come into the picture, and you find out that you connected too quickly sexually with someone who you don't even like,
or no,
or you don't even know, right? Which speaks also to the character. So him lie, him cheat, and as Robert is gonna go into it, because I don't want it to be one-sided, he lies, he cheats, him not treat him mother good, nobody likes him, he cannot keep a job, him not have no plans for the future, but you have already given yourself to this person, so you feel stuck. And many times you realize that I don't even like this person. but you have already done something that should have been done in the covenant of marriage, and then it kind of too late. And so this is one reason why I would say wait until you are married to have sex. That cannot be a second date thing. That cannot be a third date thing. Robert and I, we waited until we were married to have sex. It was not easy because, as you can see, Robert is hot and I am hot. So, you know, it was not easy, and I do not want to give anybody no false hope like, oh yeah, you can just wait, it's not a big deal. It is not easy. It took every ounce of grace and mercy to have carried us to our wedding. But it's not impossible. It can be done, and we did it. And that's one thing that I can say. I am very happy. I am very happy that we waited until we were married to have sex. So what do you want to say on that point of doing it too quickly before you even know who the person is?
Yeah, first I want to say I think one of the main reasons why sex is so casual because it's lost its value. I want to go back to the foundation of stuff. There's a reason why God says stuff in order to protect us. He knows the power of sex. He knows the soul ties, the emotional things, and everything. So we have to first understand why he says it, because there's a reason why he said it, right? So one of the main things is to understand the value of sex. As you know, when you have sex, you're literally becoming one with the person, and everything is transferred, STDs, whatever spirit they have, whatever, all those kinds of things, all of that intertwine, and you get it. Right? You get their ways, you literally become like them, you talk like them, you do everything like them. You even start to look like them. A lot of people tell me and Shine look alike. You probably can see now, you know.
Yeah, I'm so cute, so you would look like me.
Whatever, but yeah. So we have to first understand the value. You know, unfortunately in this day and age, the value of sex after marriage has gone into nothing. And one of those, I think it's a dumb excuse personal to say, oh, marriages don't work, so what's the point? I'm like, no. Something works if you make it work, which goes back down to waiting to have sex when you get married, meaning what's the person's character? First of all, what is God saying about the person? What's their character? What people are saying about them.
Because so many of us are with persons who we're not even supposed to be with.
Yeah,
but we never took the chance to realize that.
To take the time out, find out who the person is, all of those stuff.
And then if you spend the time to find out who this person is and you're not in bed together, then you can make your exit. Because how many times have women in relationship especially realize that this is not the guy I want to spend my life with, this is not the guy I want to have kids with, but we already gone too far. However, if you are, and most women can attest to this, it's easier to leave a man who you have never been with. I remember one time back in college, I had a boyfriend, and I was kind of like on that journey too of going there for say, if it's not my husband, I'm not interested. So of course we were not sexually active, and then as the months progressed, I found out that he was a liar, he was a manipulator, he cheated, he had no boundaries, he had no regard for the tenets of a relationship. And what did I do? I walked away from it. Why? I didn't have any attachment to him. I didn't have any attachment to him. Peace. Because I didn't get into bed with that person. You're able to break away from it easier than when you're sold. Because as Robert said, because of how casual we have made, there's nothing like casual sex is paradoxical. There's no casual sex because sex can never be neutral. It's something happens when you go to bed with someone. Trust me.
Whether you believe it or not, something happens.
Something happens.
And it's funny you said that, and the reason many people struggle to leave people is because they have sex. If you think about it, you know, oh, somebody say, oh, well, I'm gonna leave this person but then you call it what? The makeup sex. So you have sex, and then you know, the sex is good, and then
go right back into it, and then you keep covering the issue with the sex.
Maybe, you know, and you know, sex is supposed to reconnect you. For example, a lot of times Shyionniee and I get in arguments. We have sex, and it actually helped to reconnect us many times actually, and that's what sex is for. You get what I'm saying? So in that case, sex is doing what it's supposed to do, but because it's not in the place it's supposed to be, it ends up being a negative instead of a positive.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Truly. The next point, why you should wait until you are married.
Yeah, the light. I don't know, light chipped out, but continue.
One sec.
Let's press the button. And we're back. Yeah, that's the enemy trying to, you know, but that ain't gonna work.
The light has never chipped out. That has never happened. But we'll come to talk today. We're gonna talk. Yes, so the next reason why you should wait is that when you wait before you are married when you wait until you are married to have sex, you're able to build a genuine friendship. Robert and I have encountered some rough times. We have had our challenges in our marriage. This year we're together for 6 years, and this December we will be married for 4 years. We have had our fair share of it's been a while. Also, a lot of our relationship was long distance. So most of it, it was literally.
It's only a year now we've been living together.
It's not a full year. It's like May, because remember you still were back in April, like living in the same house.
When I left,
right,
my job, and then started working for myself.
Right. So all that time, so we have had our fair share of struggles, but because we never use sex to mask anything over, like we're real friends in real life. If you know us, we you know, if you know us, we get into it. But we're really good friends. He's my friend. He's my friend. If something happens, I literally like, oh, we're like that. If you ever know what happened today, or like, oh, Shyionniee, you know this happened, or like, oh, Robert, you know what happened, like, if we always know where each other is, like, I need to know. Why don't you know where you are, babe? Like, that's like we care about each other so deeply, and a lot of things we don't do to each other and stuff. We don't cross certain boundaries because you wouldn't do that to your friend. But where did we build this friendship? In the 2.5 years that we dated and courted before our wedding, because we had to have those hard conversations. We had to find those creative ways to enjoy each other and have fun, because we weren't having sex.
Yeah, and not just that, it's back to what we're saying, the value of sex. Like, you're literally giving yourself to someone. And literally, as the Bible says, your body's not your own. Like, you're literally giving yourself. So why would I want to just give myself to just anyone? Wouldn't I want to save that for
that special person?
Spouse. Spouse, not special person. Spouse. Right. Because you know, your boyfriend or girlfriend, that could be the special person, but it has to be your spouse. Like, why wouldn't I want to? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just wait, you know. Continue.
Yes. I also want to say another reason why you should wait until you are married to have sex is because of the secureness that comes when sex is had in the covenant of a marriage. Sex was meant to be a mystery. I saw Jackie Hill Perry tweeted it the other day, that sex was meant to be a mystery. This thing of discovering each other over and over again. And this is not a kids video, so if you are under 18 or so, I really don't want you to watch this video.
Under 18, yeah, they're supposed to learn.
Well, yeah, that's
no, true. Actually, no, kids should be watching this. They're the ones that do the most exploring. What are you talking about?
That is true. That is true.
Know what's this or what's that in you? They need to know.
Okay, like, that is true. That is true. Okay,
and
but what?
One more thing I wanted to add, and the reason why you should wait, especially knowing about the character, because as Shyionniee and I, we can talk about a relationship when we're apart from each other 2.5 years. You get to see the real them. You get to see the ugly truth, everything.
Yeah, when they're angry, when they're upset, when they don't have no money.
Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
And then, by the grace of God, he kept us. And because we didn't have sex, it wasn't like, we still had a choice, like, should I still stay with this person? Because we're not in too deep. When we have sex, that really accelerates the depths of things. Like, some people say, oh, I just have sex, so it's nothing. It is something.
It is.
Because remember, now, when you have a soul tie, you literally give a piece of, you're literally giving yourself a piece of yourself to her, like literally.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have sex with 10 people, that's literally 10 different soul ties. Like, I'm about to say something that's really hard to say, but I know I like to watch documentaries and things like that. It's weird to say, but I gotta say because I have family watching, but whatever. Because God's leading me to say it, so I gotta say it. He comes first. So I watch documentaries of certain people who had sex a lot, and they literally would say they have a multi-personality. And I'm like,
that's interesting.
And a lot of things where the people's talking, I'm going to talk more about the spiritual aspect about it. Things we also need to talk more about too, which you can get STD, sexual transmitted disease, but you can also get sexual transmitted demons. You can. You actually can. And church needs to talk about more about that STD than the STD, which is a disease. Yes, you can get STD, that's a disease, which is bad. But in my personal conviction, I think the STD, which are demons, are worse. Because they're really out to kill you. Like,
and you can't get rid of those unless you're delivered. And a lot of times people don't even know that they have those. Because how do those come in? Sometimes you have sex. And I think I've seen this with my eyes, to be very honest. Sometimes you see somebody, them are one happy person, they're okay, whatever, and they get with this person and them get so depressed, them get so sad. Sometimes you can't keep no money, you can't make no money, nothing can go right with you. As in layman's term, as how we like to say it in Jamaica, crosses are follow you. And why is crosses following you? Because of the person who you slept with. And many times you come and sleep with this person, you don't even know where they have been, who they have been with. And they might think that, oh, who they were with is a clean person. But you don't know who, you don't know what people doing. You don't
witchcraft.
Especially the kind of things that people are opening up themselves to know. You don't know, so you're taking on all of that. Why? Because and many times when people engage in premarital sex and stuff, most young people, they don't even do it for themselves. They do it because they want the guy to like them. They do it because they want the guy to stay, or they want the girl to stay.
Well,
a lot of times,
from a male perspective, there is, I mean,
well,
it's in us. We're made to give off our seed, you could say, you know. As in, semen. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not gonna But, you know, we still need to have that self-control.
Yes. One
thing I learned, and I saw this and I have to ask myself the same question. And it's a lot to do with the kind of man I am. I'm saying and it's a bit, honestly, it's very hypocritical of people. If you have your daughter, man, if you have your daughter, would you want them to have a guy like you who won't have sex right away, blah, 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 or you want them to have a man who would wait and actually cherish that? Because it's funny, because we want to do what we want to do, but when it comes on to kids, oh no, they, you know, we want the best for them, but we're not willing to lead by example. So it's like hypocritical that we do that.
That's true.
And then the next thing you have to also look at women as, if you start having sex with a bunch of women, you start to see them as sex objects. And another thing is that you need to see women as God's daughter, like literally. And I'm like, okay, it's one thing for a girl to be someone's father, but it's another thing for a girl to be God's father. That's someone I personally don't want to mess with, because he will kill you. We've seen that many times in the Bible. You know, especially with my wife, I have to cherish her because I've done some things in my past and God has dealt me directly. Like, I had a dream where God literally struck me with lightning. I don't think I've ever told you that before, but literally, because the way I treated her. So imagine how much she thinks about you having sex before marriage.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So, to circle back to the point I was making prior, before we said all of that, is that why we think you should wait until you're married to have sex is the secureness that comes in marriage. as I said, Jackie Hill Perry tweeted it to say that sex is supposed to be a mystery, and as you grow in age, the 21 year, we got together when we were 18. I was 18, he was 19.
Yeah.
And now we are 24. He's gonna turn 25. And we're both turning 25 this year. Like, it's a lot of change. If you see our 2016 photos, they're not our 2022 photos. We were on the smaller side back then. So you change a lot and whatever. When 2018 when we got married is not who we are now. You change and you evolve, and that is what makes sex so interesting, because you're always exploring, you're always learning something. And I'm
not
sure
too
that
much exploration, because there's certain things
certain boundaries, right. The security of having sex in marriage, right? And so you're just always exploring and learning more about each other sexually. And I hope our parents do not see this part, but honestly, this is, as I said, this is our 4th year of marriage, and it just progressively keeps getting better and better. Like, it's just keep getting. And I want to say this too, because a lot of people, we have this, oh, you can't buy pussy in a bag, and what if it's not good and whatever.
Yeah,
sex is learned behavior. Sex is learned behavior. You don't go into, you're a different person, I'm a different person, and you learn how to love each other. You learn how to make each other feel loved.
And not just that, believe it or not, God will actually teach you.
We can I don't want to get into many details.
No, but they need to know, God will actually teach you. Like, while in the moment, He'll tell you, do this, do that, because He cares about everything. He will tell you what to do. He will.
So don't, like, we have this thing of like, oh, we have to know everything. No, you have all the years of being married. You have all the years of being married.
Which ties to these things that come with it about, oh, does size matter, all those stuff. If that's the only thing she ever got, size would never even matter. And it doesn't matter because that's the only thing she got.
And when that is inconsequential.
How much you love the person.
Yeah. And you make it work, you figure it out. You have all the years to figure it out, to realize that, okay, this works for me. And that is why every marriage, they say, is like a fingerprint, because it is so different. You understand? So what works for, say, me and Robert might not work for, say, our other married friends like O'Shane and Nikisha, or Daniel and Kevin. It's a different stuff for them. What may I call people name? Yeah. But right. Also, on the same topic of the security in marriage, like, I never have to worry about anything, because we are very protective over our marriage. We don't joke with people about that. We don't allow people into our marriage, and we don't laugh. We don't joke with other. I don't joke with other men. Robert don't joke with other women. We don't joke about it. We're very protective over our marriage. This is something that God has given to us, and we mean to, when we stand before God on the day of judgment, He should say to us, well done. And people should be looking on to say, we never want to get caught up in the statistic of, oh, and they said they're married. No, this is a race that we have been very intentional. We have had our moments, we have slip up. Sometimes we wonder, what are we doing here? But as I said, because Jesus is the center of what we're doing here, we always find back our way together, and we keep moving forward. I also want to say, like, the security of sex in marriage, like, I don't, what is a STD? I don't have to worry about STD. If I get up tomorrow and then we decide that, oh, we don't want to use any form of protection, we don't have to use any form of protection, because we're the only person we're sexually active with. So
and there's a piece about having sex within marriage. Because we also want to talk to the people who are doing it even though they're not married. Because there are people out there that are boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're doing it and they're not married yet. But then people don't understand there's a safety. God literally protects you And they'll say there's some deeper things to it that I can't go into details right now. There's like a safety when you actually do it.
That's it.
Marriage.
That's it.
Have sex within your marriage.
They literally say, and I don't think it's in the Bible, but literally babies who are born out of wedlock are like for lack of a better word, like holy babies, like kids who are born in the context of marriage.
You're sinning, and sin gives legal access to the enemy. So that's the problem. But when, you know what I'm saying? Just
so people want to, and as I said, like culture, I have a big problem with culture. I have a big problem, and that's why we have to do something like this. And I want us to continue this conversation even beyond this video, or even come back and keep talking about it. Because if we don't take a stand on it, if we don't take a stand on it, culture is going to overrule it, and we can't let that, because the word of God is the standard. God is the standard, and what God says is the standard, and it no matter how you twist it, it no matter how you turn it, it doesn't matter how you look it. God says that sex is best in the context of marriage, and that's that. That's that. That is, and I am telling you, we're telling you from experience that it is better. It is better.
So much peace, and like, oh, you know.
You have nothing. It's no brain. This is the Lord's work we're doing, and we do a good job at it. Anyway, that's not the point. But I am telling you, like,
but God wants you to.
And I want you to know, because as I tell you, people like, oh, people, of course you're not going to get into you're not going to get into too many details, but I remember somebody like was saying to me one time, like, what do Christian couples like say to each other, like, oh, like, bro, we're not doing no boring, like, of course we have, as I said, you have parameters, because even if you're having sex, you are going to still be praising God. So we're not doing certain things, saying certain things.
It's a religious thing behind it. Think about it, saying like, bro, there's nothing. Obviously, certain words you can't say, but not only saying certain. I mean, you might what words you say,
or what you do, like, bro, like it's lit. It is lit. It is so good. We're having a good time. No, because I want to let you know that it is worth waiting on God. It's worth waiting on God. And even if you're married and it's a little rocky at the jump, it was never rocky for us. But even if it's a little rocky at the jump for you, trust God, continue praying about it and whatever. This is the Lord's work. Keep doing it, and you're gonna figure it out. And when you figure it out, it's some good stuff. I
know, it's so funny, because what the enemy does too, when you're not married, he wants you to have sex, but when you're married, he doesn't want you to have sex. But there's another thing I want to tie to, is the reason why it's good for you to wait. What if the person you end up being with is not so great at sex in the beginning? What if the person you had before were good? No, that creates a problem.
Right. But when you don't have nothing to compare it to, there is no comparison to me.
Thankfully for us, it worked out, but I'm just saying, what if?
And I'm telling you, if God puts you with somebody, the situation might not be ideal, you will figure it out. Yeah. You will figure it out. The Holy Spirit will lead you into all things. Trust me, God is not concerned with providing the car for your drive, providing where for you live. But when it comes to having sex, him turn him back. Or him get up, go around at the back of heaven, go make one egg sandwich. He's not like that. He's very concerned about every aspect of your life. And Satan give us false fear. Suppose this support. We have been fine. We have been fine.
And another thing we need to talk about, why it's good for, I'm going to talk more to men, why it's best to wait. And it's kind of funny, because I'm just going to be frank. I have friends who, unfortunately, and a lot of people, their father's not around. And some reasons because they want too much picnic, they want too much families. And that's another reason why it's best to wait till you're in a marriage and keep the sex within the marriage, no one else outside. That way you can, all those problems wouldn't be a problem. Imagine how much better things would be if children had both their father and mother. Think about that. All these problems, all these fatherless children.
I'm telling you.
And the funny thing is, I'm going to be upfront, the thing I really don't like, these are the same men who don't have a father, who know what the father did, don't want to become like it, but not realizing they're doing the same thing the father's doing by having sex with a bunch of women. What happens if you get 3 women pregnant? You're going to literally do the same thing you hate that your father did.
And a lot of times, men get women pregnant and don't even know. You know how much time women might go from, say, over here, like, to Jamaica on vacation. You have sex with somebody, you get them pregnant, then come back up here. You have a pick me up here, you never know. And you just throwing yourself all about. And it is not cute. This men, because we love to talk, oh, women, how many persons have women slept with? Like, men, you need to stop it. You need to stop it, men. Like, you guys are just going. Not because you're a man. It's not cute. It's not good.
And I understand men of how it feels, but you also have to think that our decisions, we as the head of the house, our decisions affect our future family. And for the men who don't have a father, imagine if your father, that father did what we were advising you.
Right.
How much better your life would have been, you know, in terms of those gaps. And those gaps, you're not going to get back from me, you're going to get it from your heavenly father, right? But now that you see your father did that, now you need to say, all right, my father did that, let me make sure I don't. Okay? And people, just understand, we're not trying to condemn anyone or anything.
No.
We just need to tell the truth because it's happening too much.
And probably this, us speaking it here, is probably...
And sometimes it's going to hurt, and that's fine. Like, grow up. The truth hurts at times, whether you like it or not. But it's not to condemn you. It's to correct you, as the word does. It corrects and all those things.
Right.
And inspires you for people who are actually struggling. Inspire you, I'm telling you. And another thing, ladies, just to let you know, if you don't want to know he's the one, tell him so you have to wait till tomorrow to have sex. You see them gone. I'm being honest.
Sure. Or, if he's the one, he'll stay. If he's the one, I tell you that. I tell you that. You want to know if you are that girl, you have a man who waits on 2.5 years. I'm telling you. Robert never one day yet said, oh, and let me... You know me, if you know me in real life, or if you're coming across this video for the first time, I was in Jamaica and Robert was in the US. Yeah. For the whole time, Robert... I have too many Western Union transactions. Robert used to send me money every week, like the people at the Western Union used to know me. Like Robert used to send me money all the time. I used to come, like you would know, like this is when I came into my real hot girl era, because I used to come to foreign and I'd get my clothes and stuff. Who used to give me all of that stuff? Robert. Who would I buy the plane ticket? Robert. He did all of these things and he never one day yet said, oh, so what go on. Never. I used to sleep over his house when we were dating, when I used to sleep over his house. We had to sleep in a separate room because our parents are Christians, so his parents are sleeping together in no bed. But that's something that we wanted to, and it is such... I'm so glad we waited. It was not easy because, as I said, you know, we both are banging, but we're hot. But it was so worth it. Would you say it was so worth it, Robert?
Oh, yeah, it was
so worth it.
I tell you, there's a piece I can't explain.
It's just something where you experience.
Knowing that you waited, it's like there's a piece of it. It's like you're like, it's like God saying, good job.
And final thing that I want, two final things I want us to say. When you are waiting, we don't want to see how close we can go and how many things we can do without actually having sex. And if we could go back to dating, I would say don't even kiss. I would say don't even kiss.
How you kiss, man?
Personally, he's saying how you kiss. I would say don't kiss because I don't want to know chips, right? So I would say don't even kiss. That's it. That's why I'm saying.
In other words, you're saying know your own boundaries.
Right, but I'm saying don't see how much.
For some people, just the way you touch them is another thing. So it's more about you know what will trigger you. Right. So put those boundaries. Because above all else, above all the stuff that can happen, we do it to please the Lord above everything. I
want to eventually do another video of how to wait. Because some of us, we have the desire to wait, but we don't have the common sense. You cannot go over the man yard 10 o'clock at night, go watch movie in our room alone. We don't use common sense. It's going to happen.
Yeah, you wanna.
But that's another video for another time. The final thing that we want to say before we go is, I want to speak to those who are like, you're in the relationship and it's going towards marriage, and or you're engaged and it's coming up on the marriage, or you think you're gonna get engaged, or it's right there, you guys are end game and this is forever. I want to say, present yourself as a living sacrifice. I want you to finish the race strong. I don't want you to like it did happen already, kind of.
And if it happen, stop doing it.
Yes.
That's all right. For the next couple months until whatever the wedding is, we're gonna keep it clean. Right.
And if you need to get an accountability partner, I know these things might sound so bizarre, but this is God's way. Don't go by culture's way or the world's way. This is God's way. If you need to call a friend and
be
say,
practical.
my body bother me today, girl, my body bother me today, come and see me, come and stay with me, because I'm going to call the boy. If you have to do that, whatever practical steps you have to take. Whatever, yeah. If you if you don't need to go to the beach together, don't go to the beach together. Because I will tell you this much: the greatest temptation we felt to have sex was not when we just started dating, was not in the middle of the dating. You see, them couple of months and that couple of weeks before the wedding. You see, when you see him the week before the wedding or the night before the wedding, you're like, oh, we're married tomorrow, man. You can't just no. Don't make Satan trick you. Hold on to your testimony, and that is why I'm sorry, I'm not ashamed to talk about it, because
I think it's the wisest thing to do.
I think so too.
A lot of guys don't agree with me, and I don't care. Because God is the smartest. If you think God is the smartest and not doing what he's doing, then who's really the dumb one?
And why can God have authority on one aspect of your life, but not on this aspect?
You know. But I'm just telling you, like, I'm telling you, it's the best thing.
I think so too.
To wait.
Yeah.
It's just the best thing to do what God says. He knows what he's doing. Bro, remember, he's the same one that made sex. He's the same one that made everything. So if he's telling you to wait, he knows why.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember I watched this video a long time ago with Darius Daniels and Mike Todd. They talked about the whole sex thing too. They say it's like a fire. You know, and you don't fight, you know, sex in marriage, like when you keep the fire in a container, keep it contained.
Yes.
But when you have sex outside of marriage, is when you keep the fire out.
It's
like you're trying to out the fire.
And it just keeps getting away. And that is why the world is in the condition it is. Because it gets away.
Think about it. You know what it says on Google? You know what the stats say? 80% of things people search on Google is related to sex.
Interesting.
80.
And I saw something where said the exposure rate is
crazy.
The age of exposure is 10 years old. And I don't think that's true. No, I don't think all 5-year-old know they're not supposed to know now.
Bro, you can so easy.
And everything is so laced, everything is so sexually charged.
Yeah.
So, and especially like our culture is like that, man.
And that's the main thing. What the enemy does, he wants to desensitize. Once you desensitize it, then it's like anything, whatever. You know?
Yeah.
So,
but I want to let you know that it's a big deal. And when you wait until you, and if you're waiting, say you not have no boyfriend, no prospects, nothing. Wait, because this is your reasonable service unto God. And just because you wait, God not owe you no man or no woman or whatever. It is what we ought to do. It's the correct. You wouldn't go kill somebody. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. So it's the right thing to do, to wait. And no matter how, because our feelings are real, but our feelings are not God. And I know your body might be telling you that, you know, yeah. And as I really want to, we're really gonna come back and do another video on like the practical way of waiting.
Yeah, like because the practices we took to make sure.
Yeah, because you cannot be listening.
And we can't even talk about the times where we almost probably There've been times where we like almost.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It was not easy, and it wasn't a straight line.
Done stuff, to be honest.
Right, and that's what I am telling you. Even the same thing of like, oh, let's go watch a movie together until somebody hand go on somebody's shoulder,
and then this and that, and enemy.
You see what I'm saying? And then it just snowballs.
Like,
but
you're like, back it up right now.
Back it up. But if you backed up that time when you're not married, but in marriage you can really back it up. But anyways, we're gonna end on that note today, and I just wanna say thank. This was so fun. We should do this more often. Give me a kiss. So I just want to say thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you thank you for everyone who has been subscribing. Thank you to my loyal commenters. I really appreciate it. If there are any tips that you thought that we should have added, or anything that
any questions you might have,
or
disagreements,
or anything you'd want us to see, or any other videos you'd want us to do together as a married couple, leave it in the comments. Say it in the comments.
I know a lot of women probably want tips from men, but I can help a lot. I can't help too much because I wasn't the kind of I've never cheated before, so. But I know friends who have done it, so I have that kind of experience because it's like I saw it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But ask questions. You know, we're
share
really
this video.
Want to help people get closer to God. At the end of the day, it's about that. And
eventually, marriage is good and sex is nice, but eventually our goal is to ultimately be with our Father.
And your marriage is supposed to reflect Him. If it's not, then you ain't married. Like, okay.
Yes. So, thank you guys for watching, sharing, subscribing. Follow me on all socials at Shyionniee. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Snapchat. Follow me on Instagram. You can follow Robert at what's your name?
No idea on Instagram.
I think it's Robsy.
I post stuff, but like statuses. Robsy, I think it's Robsy with 3 Z's. IE. I'm not sure.
Great.
Well, my account is private, so you gotta. It is what it is.
You can follow me. You can follow me, and alright, so thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye. If it's bye.
Oh, bye everyone.
See you in the next video. Bye.
So you will go.